love it when I turn up the bass. They love it when I turn up the bass.
What's up there, everybody? Citrus Aviation here for another video. Today we have the brand new model airport unveiled. So this here is a new model airport that I've been working on for the last several months, and it is finally going to be able to be shown on YouTube and for y'all to see here. It's still a bit of a work in progress, as you will see, but it is available and you can now see it here in person. And I want to go to the airport, what airport this is, why I chose it, and show you some details of how I put this together. So let's get started. So you Project RDU. This is Terminal 2 of Raleigh-Durham International Airport. It is located between the cities of Raleigh and Durham, North Carolina, and it is the main terminal building for the airport. There's two terminals. There's this one, this Terminal 2, and then there's Terminal 1. Terminal 1 is the low cost and the ULCC terminal. At some point, I'll be building that as well. But for now, we have Terminal 2 here. This is where you're going to see most of your major park at. You can see United here, United, Alaska, Delta, American, JetBlue, carriers like that. The ULCCs and Southwest park at Terminal 1. And except Frontier still parks here too. But outside of them, all the other low-cost carriers are now at Terminal 1. So this is the airport. And it'll be selling up on YouTube, and there'll be a bunch of things that I want to do to it. But you can tell that the terminals here, much of the board has been painted and done, and I'll show you how I did that in this video as well. And then there'll be more going on as well. Some more videos coming up because I still want to put lighting in this terminal, and I have some lighting kits for it, but don't have it complete yet. So you might want to know, why did I pick to do this airport? Well, Raleigh was picked because I lived here for a few years, from about 2013 to 2016-ish, sometime around there. About 3 years, lived in the area, and placed spot here at this airport, and really liked it. It's a great airport, nice one to fly through as well. Terminal 2, one of the better terminals in the United States in terms of its comforts and things that they offer at the terminal, and so I wanted to model it. As well, this is an airport that is rapidly growing, so there's a lot of opportunities here and a lot of new things that are happening. So, this is the reason why I picked Raleigh-Durham, and so it's a really neat airport. So let me go ahead and give you an overview of the terminal and the layout so you can get a look at it. Alright, so this section here is Terminal C. This is where you're going to see primarily American Airlines park. You also have some other carriers here, and your wide bodies and international flights will park over here as well. So over here off to the left, you can see these gates here. These are the regional gates for American Airlines, and you can see Air Canada parks here too. Sometimes you'll see JetBlue over here as well. You used to see Delta here, but they've moved their operations down to a D terminal, and so they're not really out of this section anymore. This is primarily American Airlines. At the end of C terminal, we have gates Charlie 23, Charlie 24, Charlie 25. Charlie 23 and 25 are where you see international aircraft park. You're going to see things like the American 777 and the Air France 787. I currently do not have an Air France 787, hoping to get one here in the near future. But you can see these aircraft park here. While I was doing the lines and such, I did make a couple of mistakes, and you'll be able to see some of them. I'll go back through and show you what a couple of them are. But one of them is here. Charlie 23 is too far over this way. I really need to have it about where I painted Charlie 24, and the Charlie 24 needs to be over here. You can see the jet bridge can't extend all the way. So it is just a little bit too far over with the Charlie 3 international lines. But you know, those are things, you know, that you learn from, and next time I redo this board, I won't make that mistake next time. But it's interesting to note that even when you're trying to measure everything, you can still make a few mistakes here and there. So Charlie 23 is a little bit off. Most of the time when I have this model up, I'm probably going to have to park this model here on Charlie 24 line just to make the jet bridge fit properly. But in reality, the 777 for London does usually park at Charlie 23. Charlie 25 was often where you'd see the Paris flight park at. And now it's Air France. I think though they do 23 now, so they'll pull this aircraft over to a hard stand, and then the Air France aircraft come in, and then vice versa. When the 777 is being loaded up to London, the 787 will be moved over to the hard stand. Not shown here in this model, but there is a hard stand now that used to be a general aviation parking ramp that's in front of the observation deck now. That's where they'll park wide bodies and other aircraft when they need to have extra gate space. Over here you can see where the second arrow that I've made with the board was. Charlie 16, Charlie 18 are slightly too close together. This was mostly because when I initially did Charlie 8 and Charlie 10, I didn't quite get the spacing right for those, and so those gates are a little bit too spread out. Therefore, it ended up it was going to cause two gates to get squashed together, and these were the two gates that did get squashed together. So it's not quite accurate here in terms of spacing. This should be over slightly more over this way. And then Charlie 8 and 10 should be closer together. But those are just the sort of things that happen when you're making all these gates and such. Overall, I was really happy with how the spacing for this terminal was worked out. But this and the Charlie 23-24 arrow, the two real actual arrows that I made in terms of making this terminal. And really I should move Charlie 25 slightly as well. But those are just little things that have happened. Overall, I really am happy with how it looks. And even still operationally, I can still make walkarounds with this and just park one aircraft on one of the two gates. But yeah, those are things that are going to happen when you're making a model airport. Not everything's going to end up being perfect. Obviously, the goal is to try and make it look as good as possible. But, you know, sometimes some errors do still occur. Here we have several of the Charlie gates. These are mainline gates primarily. They primarily will park mainline aircraft, you can see. You will have American Airlines and JetBlue over here. That gate with the JetBlue aircraft, Charlie 9, sometimes also has a Delta aircraft, and for a long time was the Breeze Airways gate. So Breeze Airways had Charlie 7 and Charlie 9 out of Raleigh. That is no longer the case. They're now at Alpha Terminal. And that change literally just occurred within the last couple of weeks. But for the longest time, that was also the Breeze Airways gate too. Over here we got Charlie 1, Charlie 3, Charlie 7, Charlie 9. This is a demonstration of what the completed gates will look like once all the weathering and such is done. Charlie 1's finished, Charlie 3, Charlie 7, Charlie 9. Those are all completed. Most of the gates have not been completed because I still have weathering to do, still have lines to paint. For most of the gates, you'll just see a yellow line and then the red outline for the gate. But these have the black outlines, the gate markings, and weathering on all of the gates shown as well. If you're interested in seeing what my process for doing one of these is, I'll just roll a quick clip right now of me weathering the airport. Yeah, so that's how it looks like from start to finish to complete a gate. I believe that one was Charlie 7 that was showing in the clip. But yeah, that's how these gates get made. It does take quite a while to do it. And so for this video and to get this airport up and rolling, I wanted to at least mark everything. So all the gates are marked, but most of them are not completed. These are 4 of the completed gates. There are a couple of other gates that are done as well. But these 4 for a fact are done. And then there's about another 40 to do to get this airport completed. Over here at the Alaska gate, I think it's like D7 or something like that. You can see what one of the normal standard gates, at least for the moment, looks like. It's still doable. You can still see the yellow line, and we got the box there for the safety zone, aircraft safety zone. Different companies call them different things, but it's basically the red outline that determines where the aircraft is considered to be in a safe parking location. And it's also a no vehicle movement area as well. But yeah, I just wanted to put that out so that I could at least have all these aircraft parked out here and actually do things with the model airport. These will get finished up over time. And yeah, that brings us on to showing you the D gates. D terminal is primarily where you're going to see airlines like Delta, Alaska, Frontier, and United. So quite a few carriers over here. Delta is obviously going to be the big one. They do share some C gates as well, but they have C and D, so you're going to see them here. Of course, Frontier is over here as well. Alaska has a gate as well, and then United has all the gates here at this end of D terminal. There's still quite a bit of work that needs to be done here on the D terminal. You can see the red safety zone box ends there, and then I just have lines printed here. These are going to take a little bit longer to do because there are so many different lines, and the safety zone boxes look quite unique for some of these. So to be noted, this gate here has a wide body line on it. So where the max is, there is a wide body line right here. You should be able to see that yellow line there. That one parks any sort of wide body, and that is D terminal's wide body gate. Here's a little bit better view. You can see the max is parked on one of the regular gates. This is another alternate line for this gate, and then this is the wide body line right here. If it is being used, neither of these 2 gates can have a mainline aircraft parked at it. And that brings us on to the portion of D terminal that has not been done yet, like at all. You can see starting right here, this is where I last was walking on the section of the board. You can see that the Delta 175 taxi there. It has this line, the roadway, and the last gate marking is here where the 700 is parked. These gates have not been done yet. I will be doing those here in the future. It's about 6 gates or so back here to do as well, just like a C terminal. Hoping to get the spacing correct on these. And I'll be showing that in a future video on how I do this section of the board. So get an idea, start to finish, how to do one of these boards. So it'll be really, really nice. I've also kind of refined some of the strategies I used. On the section of C terminal, there's a couple of blobs as well, where I was using some paint pens that did not work as well. Instead, I've been adjusting to using markers, which have worked a lot better. Just to give you an idea, this is what the line looks here for the taxi line for going to the regional gate on C side. It's very spotty and can be very easy to make mistakes as the paint pen likes to spread out a little bit. So it's very difficult to keep it on point and on track. That is compared to where you look here. I used the markers and they are a lot more precise. They don't splot out as much, and they're much more able to be controlled. And so I like using those. They've worked so much better. And so I'll be using those for future projects and to complete this airport. So it just looks a lot better. Also, with this side of the airport, I also used pencil to mark the squares for the concrete versus pen, and it has a more faded look to it, which is more realistic. You don't really want the squares to be too obvious, because obviously concrete is poured in, blocks, but you don't want to sew too much. So using the pencil instead of pen has worked a lot better, and I like the effect a lot more. Eventually, the result is to make the airport look something like this. So here we have Charlie 7, Charlie 9 set up. This is really what the airport is supposed to look like. See this aircraft here, GSC all around them. Nice board is done. There'll be lighting inside the terminal. It'll look amazing. And so that's really what I want to show you guys. Just show you the airport, give you the vision for what I'm doing, give you kind of a project update, and to show you how far the airport's come. This has taken hours and hours and hours of work to get this to where it is now, and it's coming along quite nicely and should be able to be done here in the near future. I'm really happy so far with what the progress has been on it, and since most of the basic stuff is done, like terminals here, almost all of the gates have been at least marked out. I just need to finish doing like detailing and such, but this airport is ready to be commissioned, and I'm very excited to get started with making videos for this. So that is Raleigh-Durham International Airport. I wanted to welcome it to the channel and bring it all to your attention. Hopefully you all enjoy it and you look forward to seeing more videos with this airport soon. With that being said, I want to thank you all so much for watching. Have a great rest of your day. God bless you.